Welcome back to Them Dolcy Sibling Podcast. I'm Candy, the oldest.
I'll mark the middle.
And I am Marjorie, the youngest. All right, exciting. As you all can see, we're still together again.
We are
Siblings.
in the same space.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Only happens a few times a year.
Yeah.
Few times. But it was great. The last podcast was good.
Yeah,
You
really
know?
good. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
You know what? It's something that we just said that I thought was quite interesting. We've been getting a lot of feedback about our podcast and how it's such a great idea for siblings to come together and to do this, and
Mhm.
not realizing not every sibling group come together as often as we do. Though we mentioned we come together at least twice a year
Yeah.
and spend time together under the same roof. Not everybody does that, and that's a blessing. I guess we can do that. Now we can't stay too long.
yeah. You got about a week
A week and a
Before-
half the most.
before we start getting on each other's nerves.
Exactly. We're like, you got to go. You got to go. But we
Yeah.
are excited that we can bring our family to you on screen via a podcast.
Yeah, cool. How often do you guys get together with your siblings?
Facts.
Mm.
These are
You
the
know,
facts.
how often do you guys get together?
Everybody. Now there's some instances where some siblings come together more frequent, if it's more so sisters or brothers.
They live
But,
in
like-
Especially if
city?
if they live in the same city.
Correct. But like where everybody comes together, all siblings.
All your siblings.
How often? How often does that
Mhm.
happen?
Mhm,
On one
mhm.
occasion. And are you intentional? Are we? I think we're intentional about our interaction. Like when I'm coming into town, depending on when you're coming into town.
Yeah.
Okay, let's time it all together.
And even we only get together in person twice, maybe if there's a special occasion, an extra time, we do communicate with each other
Frequently.
very
At
frequently.
least once a week, all three of us. Typically
Yeah.
every Friday night, we're all on a video chat together.
Exactly. So how often do you guys communicate with your siblings? Like, do you talk to your siblings weekly? Because one of the things, you see people in different families, their siblings may not be as close.
Mhm.
They may not, or if they are close, they don't talk to each other as often.
Yeah.
Some people go months without talking to their siblings. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think I can imagine going months without talking to either of you guys at least once.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
I
I
would've-
didn't realize that until I guess getting older. I guess how close we are. I guess I never thought about us being close. I just thought
That's just
how
it
we
is.
are. It was like somebody else identified, like, man, you and your siblings, y'all are so tight. And I was like,
Are we?
I guess. I guess we are. And they're just like, yeah, man, the way you all are just always together. And I wish me and my sibling was like that. And I'm like,
You're not?
yeah, like
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't
I
get
don't-
it.
I never really thought of it, but when other people are able to identify that, it is a blessing. Just because we're tight, that doesn't mean we don't get on each other's nerves. We don't, have our disagreements or whatever.
Mhm.
But I guess it is a blessing that we still have a good sibling relationship.
Yeah, we do. My wife and her sister, they talk often, but people don't.
Yeah,
Some people don't like their siblings.
that's true.
Some people don't have good
don't.
relationships with their family. So I do praise God that
We're
Yeah.
in that space.
we're in that space where we have a good relationship with each other, with our parents.
Mhm.
We don't got no major issues. Like
So
I said,
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's very
It's
cool.
a blessing.
That's
It's more than
cool.
cool. It's a blessing.
yeah.
So how are you guys doing this week?
I've been doing great, man. Y'all in town, spending time with y'all and stuff like that.
it's been
Having a good time.
been a ball.
Been a ball.
It's been a
Mhm.
ball.
Okay, yeah, it's been a ball for me too. Still on cloud 9, but not looking forward to leaving, right? So I guess
Yeah.
going back to reality for me for work
Back
and so
to
far.
life.
Granted, I'm gonna
Back to reality. Back to life.
okay. All right, break. So like all right. Yeah. All right. Really? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I sure enough was about to break into the bridge, but just thinking about sleeping in my own bed again.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
Right? That's something that I'm looking forward sharing a bed with my sister.
Y'all only share a bed because y'all have to. We clearly got there's clearly another bed here.
Not because we have to, because she wants to.
Oh, because you want to share a bed with Marjorie.
It's a
Yeah.
king size bed. Why not?
I mean, yeah, I don't mind her sleeping in the bed with me.
I mean, you
growing
clearly,
up before Candy went away to college, we used to share a room
but
and share
Candy
the
can
bed.
clearly come upstairs and sleep in the
Yeah,
other
but she
room.
like me close to her.
Aw.
Yeah.
She's
then I
And
can
I
talk
enjoy
to her.
sister.
I love my
my
sister.
Sometimes we don't get
along.
Come on, now throw back.
And I enjoy messing with her too.
Yes, all the time, even when
Mhm.
we're about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But this time it's been good. It's been very good. I think we've just been so tired.
Yeah,
So
because
we
we've
just
been
go to
doing a
sleep.
lot this trip. So I haven't had the energy to mess with you before we fall asleep.
Listen, I was telling Lisa this morning, I was like, man, like, it felt good. Like, we came back home last night from our cousins, and like, we went to bed like around 10:30, 11. And I
Mhm.
think every night that we've been together, it's been like
After midnight.
after midnight. So I
Mhm.
was like, man, like, I went, like, when we came in, I went to the bathroom. I looked down, so I'm like, oh, the lights are closed downstairs. Ain't nobody out in the living room.
Nah. Granted,
We were
yeah, Candy wanted me to help her. I've been helping Candy with
Retwisted.
yeah,
Tying
her
my
hair.
hair.
So we have a little bit left, but we were tired. We were both dressed for bed, and she was just like, "Hey, can you do a few more?" So then that way it's less tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we stayed up a
Okay.
little bit for doing that, but we both were like I think I only did 3 rows,
Gotcha.
and it was like okay, like
I'm going to bed.
we going to bed. We're tired.
But that's pretty cool. So in the group chat,
Yeah.
Mm.
I think this one is a Instagram group chat.
Yes, this is our
Mark shared a
Instagram.
video.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, we're Haitian descent,
Yes.
and we grew up in the church.
Yeah.
You did.
Yes.
Listen, if you've never been to a Haitian church,
It's an experience.
it's an experience.
Depending on when you come.
Yes.
And the
It can-
video Mark shared showed, I don't know if they were in church, but
No,
it
I
looked like a
shared that
church.
video.
You
Mark,
seen that video?
I shared that video. Anywho, it's the video in the group chat.
Yeah.
And it's at a banquet,
Yeah,
Church
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 banquet.
banquet.
At Haitian churches, you find
All kinds of talents.
you got people who got different type of talents.
Very
Something that you wouldn't
different.
have even considered to be a talent.
Listen,
Is it really a talent?
That's
I
real.
think, you know what? I think it is. Because you think coming from, is Haiti considered third world?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Coming from a third world country, you know, you have to find
creative ways
creative ways
To entertain yourself.
to entertain yourself,
and entertain others.
entertain others, to make music. I remember when we went to Haiti, one of our cousins would say they would take the cicadas. Like in Haiti, like our family lived like in the mountains, and they would have like cicadas, and you would hear them all night.
Yeah.
They say they would take the cicadas and put them in like a jar and walk around like it's a radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a little box.
Put it in a little box and be
Yeah.
like, that's our, and they'll poke it with a stick and be like, that's the radio. You
Yeah,
know,
growing
so
up, they've done that.
so you gotta find ways of entertaining yourselves.
Definitely. And so in the video that was shared in our Instagram chat, it was a man, an older man,
Older
Mhm.
who was
gentleman. Yeah.
doing some type of special music
Yeah.
At a banquet.
at a banquet,
Mm-hmm.
and he was using, what was he using,
A
guys?
kazoo.
A kazoo. All seriousness.
Yes.
Dressed up, everybody
His-
was singing or was giving him their utmost attention. And that reminded me of times where I remember in church, maybe not like church service, but let's say if it was a youth program or
Mhm.
some type of a program outside of worship,
Out of the
where-
main divine service.
right, where there was, I can't remember if it was a pastor or someone who would come up. It was a pastor, right? During an evangelistic whatever revival in the
I
evening.
think I remember this.
And he would put his hand up to his mouth, and it sounded like a trumpet.
I do not
And
remember
he-
this.
I remember this.
I must have been
This
too young.
dude-
And people were
He
like,
was up there like,
no, but it sounded like a real
Trumpet.
trumpet.
it sounded
And
like a
people
trumpet.
were like, what? How did he do that? And he would perform songs that way.
That's
And he
wild.
was so serious.
Very serious.
He's up there like,
Yeah.
and then like when there's a break, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
I even remember seeing online a video. I didn't see it in person where someone, an older man, I don't know, this is men who do this. He had some type of, okay, what is the type of metal that they used for a saw? You know how it's flimsy?
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a guy using that with a bow that you would use for a
I think
violin.
I've seen that
I've
And
online
he
seen it.
was
before, and
playing
yeah,
that.
and it's
And you bend it in different
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
And
And he was playing that
but I've
in a
seen other
service.
but country people be doing that here in the States too.
they
Like
Oh,
do, they
okay.
do.
hillbillies. Like they be on
Oh,
that. They be
Yeah,
playing the saw. I remember so so we're at Venice, and so there's a function where we a lot of times we get together with either with
kind of like a conference kind of a thing.
some type of conference that we were going to, either with our Pathfinders, which are like Boy Scouts, or something, and they would have like a closing event, and it was for the youth. And this guy got up there, and he had a like two broken bottles,
hmm.
Plastic glass.
he had two glass bottles. He had to open the he had the spout
Mm-hmm.
and another broken bottle that he put inside, and he was playing it like a trumpet slash trombone.
Oh my gosh.
And he's in there playing a whole song like this and just going "Ooh, homemade like and like so I'm like, what is he got playing? And then when he was done, he was all like, this dude got two broken bottles.
He got two broken bottles.
And
Wow.
people in the
His own
audience
makeshift
are
trumpet.
are laughing and like are like enjoying it. I'm
Enjoying.
like, this dude here
I think all that to say, Haitians can be quite creative.
Very creative.
and entertaining.
Yeah, definitely entertaining.
And, so with that being said, just thinking about just entertaining, I know sometimes, granted, we all were born in the United States, raised in the United States
Yeah.
by Haitian parents.
Mhm.
They came to America pretty young or right after they got married,
Mhm.
and then start having children, raising children. Their English may not have been the best
Right.
ideal in raising children.
Listen,
And so sometimes you will find many Haitian Americans who may not speak the language, Haitian Creole, as fluent,
Mhm.
or may not speak French as fluent as their parents.
Mhm.
And so when you attempt to speak Creole around others who are more fluent in the language,
And
they
have a
may
stronger
find it and
accent.
have a stronger accent and they have mastered the accent.
you
You are now the entertainment.
Yeah, yeah,
and
buddy.
you will be ridiculed.
Yeah.
And for us, we had a unique experience that we actually attended or grew up in a Haitian church.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so where everything or majority of the things that were happening occurred or speaking or spoken was in Haitian Creole.
Mhm.
Anything that was read
Mhm.
was in French. But then as young people, things that we did together was in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was quite an experience.
Yeah.
You talk about an
Interesting
entire,
dynamic.
you talk about an entire church that was filled with people that were, I'm gonna say
Immigrants.
immigrants, like
Mhm.
direct immigrants,
Yeah,
and majority and 90% of the kids were either first gen or were also immigrants, but probably came here when they were a lot younger.
Much
So
younger.
they were they spoke English well,
Right.
but the parents and us growing up in South Florida, there's Haitians galore. And so
Mhm.
be in South Florida for a majority of your life and not really have to learn the English language
As an
much
adult.
as an adult and still be able to function. So we
If you live
found,
in community.
yeah, if you live in the community. And so
Haitian community.
there's individuals that we grew up with that were in the States
Longer than we've been alive.
longer than we've been, that
And like you
still
still don't speak English?
that still had this thick, hard Creole accent. Like if we go back down to South Florida, I'm thinking of individuals right now that they are still struggling.
And some people want to
Yes.
keep their language
Yes.
because the
very
language is so
native.
tightly it's so tight with the culture,
Yeah.
right? You lose the
Mhm.
language, you lose the culture.
And so I think there's an advantage in speaking the language. Being in South Florida, Haitian Creole is not the only other foreign language,
Yeah.
Fact.
but you also have Spanish
Yes.
as a language, and you can see in the Spanish community how much
Hold on to their
hold
language.
on to their language,
Mhm.
even with their own children
Mhm.
that were born in America. Like, no, in this house we only speak Spanish.
So
And granted, and that
Whereas
was not our life
and you don't
growing up.
find that necessarily in Haitian cultures,
yeah.
because it was something I was reading that said that parents wanted to support their children in learning and mastering the language, the English language,
Yeah.
and so therefore it wasn't forced upon you to make sure you speak in Creole, Haitian Creole in the home. But there's sometimes, so therefore you would find many first generations, they may not speak it, but they
they understand it. If you
understand.
speak to them, they will understand what you're saying.
As a kid growing up, as a especially being born here, from a very young age, you are thrust into be an interpreter for your parents. People calling on the phone, speaking English, and your parents are thrusting you to like translate what they're saying to them, or going with them to doctor's appointments and different
Or even
things.
just sometimes bringing papers home from school.
Yep, bringing papers home from
So
school.
I think when y'all were younger, they would do translation. But I just remember when I was younger, everything came home in English. I don't
Right.
remember having, oh, you're
Oh no, our
you're
parents,
Haitian here.
yeah. Oh no, all of our stuff came home in English.
No. Actually, when I was younger, some of my things came in when I was at my first elementary school. They did have things that came in Creole. I did go to a bilingual
But the
elementary school.
principal was also the elementary school. The principal was Haitian.
So in my school, they had a bilingual program. So you had ESL, and I was in the ESL class. And I think they would try to diversify those classes with kids who spoke Haitian Creole, kids who spoke Spanish, and then or those who that was their primary language, and those who it was their secondary. Because we would also help translate and help those kids to feel be able to play with them and
Yeah,
feel
and they don't
interpret it
necessarily
for
feel
them.
like they're separated.
Correct.
Mhm,
So you had
mhm.
a classroom filled with kids who spoke Spanish and Creole.
Mhm.
And the teacher may not necessarily speak either one of those languages,
No, they
Mm.
didn't.
but you had kids who spoke English who could interpret for those who did it. So
Mhm.
therefore, I would receive, letters home in Haitian Creole.
Mhm.
And my parents struggled to read it because they're like, we don't read Haitian Creole. Tell them to
And
send
break
it
that
in
and break that
French.
and break that down, Candy.
Because when both of our parents did have the opportunity to go to school, it was all in French.
Correct.
So
So
you're
though
talking
they
about
may
in
have
the
spoke Creole
60s.
in
Yeah.
their home, in the education system, everything is French.
And so, as I mentioned in church, everything that was written or read at the time that we were going to church was in French.
So the Bible was in
In
French.
French.
The
Our hymn
hymnal
is
is
in
in
French.
French.
Our Sabbath school book is in
It's
French. And so, therefore, our parents who went to school educated, everything was in French. I think it was not until the 90s
When
where
they start
they
incorporating Haitian Creole
writing Haitian
into
Creole and make it an official language.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's not until now you will actually find, after the 2000 or late 2000 where we are now, you will find a Haitian Bible, Haitian Creole,
Creole
Bible,
Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so forth. Our hymns are still in
In French.
French.
Yep.
Sabbath school lesson still is in French.
Correct.
But you're seeing more of the
The
Haitian,
Haitian
Creole
Creole being
written, being
incorporated,
more
written.
embraced
Yeah.
within our, in our
In our
religious structure. And so with that being said, therefore my parents were like, we can't read this in Haitian Creole. Just send it in English. Just send it in English. We'll do fine in English.
Yeah, we'll figure it.
If you're
They'll
not going to
figure
be
it
able to
out.
write it in French.
Mm.
And this is like late 80s when this was happening. And so
There was a story. There was a thing that happened in church growing up. I don't know if y'all remember. So our church used to rent a church, an American church. And so in there, they had, on top of their sanctuary, they had do not chew gum inside.
I think I
the
know what
church.
you're gonna say.
And so, we chewing gum or whatever, we doing our
Not
thing,
following the rules.
not following the rules. And then so we had an elder go up on stage and attempt
to
to
read.
read the sign.
I think I remember y'all talking about.
Oh my
what he
God.
said,
And he was like, what was it? He was like, do not. He was like,
You see, you like, if I remember correctly, you told a story like, you're like, do not chow
chow gum.
Like he was not
Do
basically
not
reading.
chow gum. And I said, we all bust out laughing. And like, remember, like, so this guy is I don't want to say he's disrupting service, but this is like in the middle of service. And he's like, go up there, like, hey man, I gotta make an announcement real quick, guys. And he's like, he's trying to say, y'all see the sign? Do not chew gum inside the sanctuary.
That's
and he's
so
like,
funny.
do not chow gum.
Which takes all the steam out of the message.
Credibility.
Interesting. I don't remember that, but okay.
You don't remember? Oh,
you
man.
gotta
I remember that story.
Who it was?
Oh my God! For some of our, I know we got some followers. For those who went to church with us when we were growing up, let me know if y'all remember that story. Let me know if y'all remember that story. This was like 90s in our first location.
Okay. So also, with that being said, we would laugh at our elders who would try to speak English, but there was a saying that, what's the title of this podcast, is "Sock blunzy." That's what you would hear. Sock blunzy. And blonde means white, so what did the white person say? But that's more so a saying of what did this person who don't speak Creole, trying to speak Creole, trying to say.
Yeah.
Almost like that. You're speaking English, but your English is kind of, you speak English and you're trying to speak Creole, but they don't understand what you say.
Yeah. They don't understand what you're saying. And so sometimes the Creole language, because of its complexities, it can it can be difficult, right?
Yeah.
Trying to understand it, or even not understand it, not just understand it, but speak it.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen quite a few videos online that talked about this particular dilemma.
Listen, speaking it growing up was stressful.
Yeah. And the same way y'all laughed at that man trying to say chow, chew, Haitians be doing the same thing when kids or whoever is trying to speak Creole and not able to do it well. Yes.
Can you say water?
I did not know how to properly say water until I was like much older. I'm like, I don't know if I'm just not hearing the proper pronunciation, but
it's D-L?
It's D''Lo.
Okay.
But like growing up, I should just say glo, like with a G, but it's actually dlo.
Yeah.
Dlo.
Yes. I did not realize that until I was older, much older.
Can you say rice? Let Mark say it. Because I think out of the three of us, Mark is the
She's trying to do me. She's trying to make me, I'm the comedic relief.
Wow.
So you can laugh at me.
You're the blunt in this conversation.
I'm the blunt.
Hence he's wearing blunt, right? You're the blunt in this conversation. How did you say rice, Mark?
And then when you put on a spot like that, it does make it even harder.
Exactly. So D.
You're
D. I mean, I would say D. I hear the difference. Sometimes that will make people feel insecure and not want to speak the language.
And nobody, and they gonna do y'all just like how they do me right now. Say D.
And then make it into like this thing, and then you like, you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing.
Listen.
All right. So, can you say your phone number in Creole?
No. Okay. Let's talk about.
Listen.
Let's talk about numbers. I don't know why I gotta do math when I'm just trying to say numbers.
Okay.
So the worst part is somebody, your parents are not home.
Yes, it's always a phone. It's always a phone number.
And the person is like, "Hey, can I speak to your parents?" And you're like, "No, you struggling with your Creole already," and they know you struggling.
They don't care.
They don't care. They chastising you on the phone about why you don't speak Creole. How come you speak Creole? They're like, "Okay, here's my phone number.
Tell your parents call me back."
And tell them to call me back. And then the first thing they gonna say, "Okay, son, 85." You gonna be like, "What?
What is 85, yo?" And then you and
like,
well, hold on. For those who may not understand, let's go ahead and break that down, right? Yes. So, like, for example, in English, numbers are very distinct, right?
Yep.
So you have 20, and you say 21,
40,
30, 50, 60, 70. However, in
80 and 90.
80 and 90. Correct.
And then 100.
Correct. However, in Creole, or more so the French, because the Creole numbers, these are
Are
French.
French
They're
numbers.
French.
Yeah, they're French numbers.
Once you get up to 60, you're now doing math.
Yes.
You are
You have 20 is 20.
Yeah.
So this is 10. 20 is 20.
Yes.
30 is 30.
Mm-hmm.
40 is 40.
Mm-hmm.
50 is 50.
And then once you get to 61,
Essence, you're saying
No, that's 61.
No, wait,
70.
once you get to 70,
Oh,
instead,
yes.
instead of saying, so 69 will be 69, and then when you get to 70, you're going to 70.
Which
Yes.
is basically saying
70, 60, 10.
10.
So there isn't a word that just means 70.
70.
You are now combining the word for 60 and you are combining the word for
Not even
10,
that.
which together, when
Is
you add them,
70.
equals 70.
And then when you get to 80,
Woo!
So therefore, real quick,
You're doing some
70,
more math.
71 is 60, 10, 60, 11,
60, 11,
60,
12,
12,
60,
60,
13,
13,
you
60,
continue.
14, and so forth until you get to 60, 19,
Yeah.
which is 79.
Why?
which is actually, it says 19 is actually, you're saying 60, 10, 9.
79.
Yes.
Yes.
And now to go to 7,
To 80,
80, correct,
you're saying 420.
Yes.
420s.
That's what you're saying. You're saying
That's all you're
420.
saying.
Quatre, then,
So 4,
quatre, and
4, then
20,
20 4 times.
60, 80.
Yes.
So
number system.
91 is 6, wait,
80,
4
20s
20s
420s.
and 11.
and 11. Correct.
That's 91.
That's
91.
so 91.
And you know, and these Haitians,
They
They know
say
it.
like
they know what I get ain't nothing. And so when they giving you these numbers, they just
right. So imagine somebody asking you to take down a phone number and they're trying to say 91 and they start off with 80 and you're like, oh, hold on. Oh, wait, cat. Like originally, you as an English speaker, you hear cat, so you start with a 4, and then you hear them say then, which is 20.
You say, okay,
Okay.
4, 20, and
2
you're like,
0, and then they
oh.
bust out with an on.
not
And
even
you're
that.
like, wait, hold on.
They start off. So in English, we'll say if your phone number is, you'll say 745 8020, right? That's gonna be the quick way.
Yeah.
In Creole, what they're gonna say is if your number is 745, they're gonna say 745, which is going. They're gonna say
755.
yeah. So they're gonna say 555, 190. 190. They're gonna say my phone number is 190. And so in your mind, when somebody's telling you this, they're gonna say my number is Nemo said 185, and you're gonna be like, okay, hold on. One 185. You're gonna be like, okay, 80 is how much? Is 80 is
And
what,
you
80.
doing this while the person is still
And you're
going
trying to
off with
figure
the
out
numbers.
what all these numbers are.
Yeah,
In what order?
Why mathematique?
exactly.
I'm
No,
not trying to do no mathematics.
that stuff used to be stressful. I'd be like, you know what? At the end of the day, if I got the number, I don't. When I give it to my parents, I'm just gonna let them know I wasn't able to fully understand,
No.
and you might have to find out, call
But then-
somebody else to get the number.
But then to be as a kid, say, oh no, mba comprendre. I don't
I don't
understand.
understand.
Eh, can you give it to me one by one? There,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, oh, okay, and then they'll know 1, 2,
Yes.
3. Say the numbers from 1, 0
No.
to
Digit.
9.
They'll say
I had a
digit.
I had a person say it slowly, and they say, huh? 80.
No,
I was
it's not
like,
gonna
no,
That's not what I mean.
I don't know what 80 is.
That's
because
hilarious.
we didn't go to school
Yes.
learning, the numbers.
You gotta
And
learn
you
it.
learn your numbers maybe as a kid, maybe up to 10.
Yeah, up to 10.
Yeah.
Usually
20.
up to 10.
in
You,
Creole.
yeah.
And then you probably got a little bit more advanced. Maybe in high school you took French 1.
That's where I learned my
French
numbers.
too,
When I took
you
French
know?
in high school.
Yeah, and so that's when you're starting to learn. And by the time you're in high school, you're at age 15 or so.
Yeah.
It's too late. You should have been known these numbers because you were taking phone numbers or messages back then.
No,
Everybody
yeah.
didn't have a cell phone. You had a house phone. and people call the home and leave messages, and it was difficult. And so I
Very.
know for myself, I had to tell them, no, can you tell it to me one by one in Creole? And they're like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. And
Nah,
they'll give
man.
it to me one by one,
Or even
in Creole, or even they would attempt to do it in English. When it was time for them to do it in English, they would
mhm.
say that number one by one because they only hear.
I just said, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, at that point,
Yeah, I got it.
I'm not gonna keep, I'm just gonna say okay, and then I'm gonna let my parents know or our parents know, like, I don't think I got it
I got
right.
caught once though.
Yeah.
I got caught. I said, okay. And the person said, say
Say
it
it
back.
back.
Got 'em.
Cuz said, say it back. I was like,
That's hilarious.
Got him.
he said, he like, all right, repeat it to me now. And I was like, oh, man.
That's
What did you do?
I don't know. I just know I
You had to
felt sick
finesse
to
your way
myself.
out of
I
that
was
one.
like, I think I was just like, and he probably like, you didn't write it, you don't even know. And then he just started ridiculing me for not being 100% fluent in my Creole. Probably was talking about like, oh, how these Spanish kids know Spanish and you Haitian.
Are y'all giving Creole classes? Are y'all doing the
Listen.
things? Are y'all trying to
So
make sure?
the funny thing is, I remember when I was in college, I met this dude. He's Haitian. He grew up Haitian. His parents intentionally did not teach him Creole.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
His parents did not want him to learn Creole.
Right.
You know,
And that was a thing because it was stigmatized. The language was stigmatized.
Yeah.
Depending on the culture was stigmatized. Depending on when you were growing up in the United States in the
Mhm.
80s, 90s, and so forth. It wasn't too cool to be Haitian. I would say even the 70s. We weren't born in the 70s, but
yeah.
I would hear that
Hear those
from
stories.
others. But still, we were. It was, not the coolest thing to do or to
I remember
have.
being a kid
And
denying
being
it.
able. Oh, you denied it.
Yeah, I remember. I ain't gonna front. I remember being a little kid in South Florida, and I remember at the time I used to get jumped. I used to get picked on.
Mhm.
And they used to be like, "Oh, you Haitian and everything." And I used to be like, "Nah, man, I ain't Haitian, man." Because they're trying to jump me. And I was like, "Nah, I ain't Haitian, man. I'm Jamaican."
What?
I used to claim to be Jamaican and everything. And they're like, "Oh, you Haitian?" And I'm like, "Nah." You know, I think it was like a year. I used to like front. You know,
And I didn't really have that experience. I've never felt an issue or concern about stating whether or not I was Haitian. But I do remember in the 6th grade, and this actually goes back to the numbers too, because I was proud to be like, yeah, I'm Haitian. Like I never felt like I'll get jumped or
Yeah.
picked on for being Haitian. And I was in the 6th grade. We were in the lunch line. And I remember some of our classmates were saying, they'll ask me something about, being Haitian or whatever. Like, can you speak Creole? I was just like, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm not 100% fluent, but I can speak Creole. They're like, oh, like, can you say the numbers? And it's like a group, maybe like 4 of us, 4 girls. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I think I can count some of the numbers. And I remember I was like going on the numbers, and I think I messed up on one. And one of the other girls was like, it's this. And I was like, how do you know it's that? And she's like, I'm Haitian too. I'm like, you Haitian? Why you ain't never saying nothing?
Why you ain't saying nothing?
Why you never said that you was Haitian, whatever? And she was just like, basically, she shared that, her older siblings who went through similar things like you, they always told her, like, don't share that you're Haitian. Don't tell that you're Haitian. You'll have problems in school. She had like 3 older brothers, and all of them used to like get beat up in school and stuff like that. So they,
South Florida was rough, man.
Especially if you were what we would consider a boat, like a just come.
Mhm.
We weren't. And so we would see how they would treat those younger kids who had the accent, that they did not speak English so well, and you would get jumped, you would get beat up, or you'll get ridiculed for speaking a different language and having an accent that was not solely English.
I do recall though that was in the 6th grade when I had that experience with that young lady. And I think from there, and maybe just me being comfortable with saying that I was Haitian, she was then able to move forward, also feeling comfortable. But in the 5th grade, I do remember we had a young man or a kid who had just moved to the US or not too long ago from Africa. I forget which country. But I do remember him having a little bit of an accent. Granted, he spoke English fine.
Yeah.
Right.
But he did have an accent. And I remember something occurred where the kids asked him to say something in his language. I think it was to count. So then he started counting, and then they bust out laughing, making fun of him, and like, oh, it's not. I'm just like, why y'all making fun of him?
Yeah.
Like that's his language. What's the? And y'all asked him to or whatever, and I just remember feeling bad, like,
Yeah.
here he is, and y'all asked him, and then y'all, making fun of him, and he actually, I remember he did have a hard time because I remember there was a point where his mom had to come to the school, um, talking to the teacher and talking about the tough experience that he had. And from that day, our teacher was like, if I catch any of y'all messing with him, it's gonna be me and you.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember that, and I remember from that point on, he had a better experience. I'm not gonna say it was necessarily perfect, but it was not as difficult for him. And I just remember feeling bad, like it shouldn't be like this just because I mean,
you speak a different language.
Yeah.
People or kids are picking on you because they don't
because
understand.
they don't understand. And then I always thought it was also kind of hypocritical because then, once I got into like middle school and even high school, I think this is a time where like being foreign was starting to become more popular, especially in South Florida. Haitian Flag Day,
Yeah.
people who weren't claiming to be Haitian all of a sudden now want to claim that they're Haitian, especially when Haitian Flag Day came around and you got the flag. And it's just like, hold on. You wasn't claiming being Haitian. Hold on. You wasn't all of a sudden now you want to rep being Haitian when you were the same people who weren't claiming it and you were making fun of nah. Or even if you were American and you were just kind of like, oh my, hold on.
Yeah.
I remember you making fun of Haitians back in the day. Don't try to be.
But now it's cool.
Yeah, now it's very cool. Yeah.
At that time. So I of course, many people would give credit Haitians being cool to Fuji's, right? Wyclef and when they came out and put Haitians on the map, that's when things started to shift for people in that community who identified as Haitian or Haitian American. That this is all right, and now you have so many different artists who are Haitian, and people are like, yeah, I'm Haitian. I am proud of my culture, my heritage, my ancestry, and especially as history become well known or consumed by Americans about what Haitians have done, especially in gaining our independence. And then
the first Black Republic of the world, 1804. Look it up.
Post-slavery, right? Had been enslaved, that we were able to do so. And so, now people are like, okay, there's some pride. And nowadays we just experienced New Year's and you have people who are like, oh, did you have soup jumeau?
Yeah, soup jumeau.
Oh, I have soup jumeau.
I heard about the soup.
For the soup.
I heard about
this freedom soup,
Yeah.
And so I think we're starting to embrace more of our culture and even our language, which is so important to do so. And
it's even on Duolingo.
Yes,
learning Haitian Kreyol.
Haitian Kreyol. And we can appreciate it. Though we can make fun, we can have a good time and talk about what sac blanzi, right?
Yeah.
But there are influencers online who share the same sentiments that we are expressing about how we grew up and the difficulties that we have. And sometimes we have created our own language.
Cringlish,
yeah,
was a mixture of English and Creole.
Yeah.
And we even have some people have created their own accent. And sometimes I do the accent and people don't like it.
Oh my gosh, this accent Candy be doing.
That accent?
No, it's the other accent she be doing. You know that other accent she be doing.
The missionary accent.
The missionary accent.
Where you speak Creole.
So
like
let me explain the missionary accent. Let me explain.
Hold on, push pause. Before you do that, Candy said something earlier, and I wanted to ask a question to our people who are watching. In South Florida, we had a thing where we had a thing that we would call people who came from Haiti. A lot of times we'll call them boats or we'll call them just come. So my question is, like, in different regions, what did you call people, new foreigners, if you're new Haitian, like in New York? Like, what do y'all call Haitian people who just came from Haiti? Did y'all have term.
Like even now, there's a new term for them as well.
Or is there?
Depending on how
They came, depending
Yeah.
on how they came.
Oh, yeah. So,
Shoot.
but yeah, so that was one of the things. So we called them boats because in the early 80s and 90s, there was a lot of Haitians that came here via the boat, coming down to South Florida, stopping in the Bahamas, and then coming over to the U.S. And then they're like being like refugees and whatnot. And then we just call other people, we'll call people who came from Haiti just come, meaning like, oh, you just came. So you got like a hard Haitian accent, you barely speak the English, like, oh,
you're trying to adapt to the American culture.
Exactly. So now it's like, if sometime like Candy would say, hey, no, this is dude I'm trying to talk to, he's Haitian. We'll be like, what? Is he a Jessica? Or what is he, like, to see like how connected is he to the motherland or to the island? Like, is he like, has he been here for a while? Have he just came over? Is he a boat? Like,
so it's part of the conversation. It's part of the vocabulary.
Yeah,
as
of
far as a
sure.
Haitian American experience, that we would have a definition for some of these words. These people just come. When did they come? How long they've been here.
They give you a really good estimate.
If
who you dealing with, how to deal with.
And so if you know the more recent term, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
There's a new term that used to identify a group of people who have come to America from Haiti.
I don't know if any other cultural group that has come in through that means use the same term.
They may. We don't know, because there are other groups who've come in through that same avenue.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I don't know, maybe in Spanish, and these are Spanish speaking, that would have that same experience. Term. Right? Or that navigating into America. And so what's that term?
Yeah, y'all go ahead and drop that in the comment below.
Y'all say it.
Yeah, y'all said we ain't gonna say it.
Yeah.
Y'all say it. Put it in the comments of what that term may be. But back to this missionary accent.
My gosh. So this missionary accent. So like in a lot of like third world countries, you tend to have people who want to go there and do missionary works, right?
Right.
And oftentimes these missionaries, some of them are willing to be there for years. So they are invested, and they are invested in learning the language.
A lot of times they're white.
They're white.
Oh yeah, typically, and this is all we're talking specifically about white missionaries, especially like back in the days, you never really heard of like black people being missionaries, especially in third world countries. So these are white people who are being missionaries in Haiti, and they're invested in learning the language so that they can really, engage with the people. But the thing is, they accent. They probably, they're learning the language. They know the words. They know the grammar and the vocabulary.
Yeah.
But that accent ain't
it's the
English accent. It's the English accent.
I don't even say it's an English accent.
It's an English accent trying to do the Haitian accent, but it's just not quite there.
It's English,
right?
Because I would say, because you can say English, but even in being English
or American accent, more so.
Not even American accent. Like you have black American accents, you got white American.
It's a white American accent.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's not just like let's get say English accent. Like it's a very white. Like if you stereotypically think of how you're a white professional person would speak, and then have them translate that into like an Haitian.
I wouldn't say white professional.
I would say a white person who is probably in a very predominant white area.
Okay.
Yeah, because they could be country.
Yeah,
or from a rural area, they would still have this particular accent.
Okay.
They're trying to speak Creole. So Candy, can you give us a small demonstration?
So when I speak, you would need to translate. Will you translate?
You want me to translate it for him? You want me to translate it? Go ahead.
Okay.
Moi très content.
She says she is very happy.
Pour m'la jodia pour parler avec tout le monde de toute ma sœur et à mon frère.
To speak with you all, with my sister and my brother.
Béni soit l'Éternel.
Oh,
praise the Lord.
Pour tout bagay,
everything.
Lui fait pour moi.
Yeah, he has done for me.
Moi manger bon manger.
I have eaten good food.
Moi dormi très bien.
I have slept very well.
Très bien.
Very, very well.
Trey.
Moi souhaiter tout le monde.
I hope that everyone
passe une bonne année.
Have a good year.
Benny Swale Tanel.
Praise the Lord. So if you all have heard people, there's actually a young lady. She's a white girl.
Oh, the white lady that's a missionary.
Yeah, and she makes fun of this missionary accent as well. You know, with it being her experience.
Is her husband Haitian?
Yes.
Okay, I'm about to say I don't think I've seen videos of her husband.
I think she have a Haitian husband also.
Yeah, but she can speak Creole very well.
Yes.
Without the accent.
But she's making fun of basically like her early times having basically,
she was a missionary. Or
I don't know if she was a missionary, but I know she grew up a lot in Haiti.
Yes. So she basically does videos with that accent, and Candy does it to be fun. Sometimes I'm just like, girl, if you don't get up out of here with this accent.
And when I do it, and with my parents or other adults in my family, get annoyed and they are tripping out.
We were at one of my friends' wedding. We were in the hotel that you remember you were doing that accent.
Yeah.
And one of the hotel attendants, I think they were like attending for the breakfast. She was Haitian, and one of my friends was just kind of like, she saw her looking at you crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And my friend, but she was
Bonjour, Bonjour.
And my friend had to tell her girl like, oh no, say black, yep, say black. She's like, she's joking. She's joking. Like she do not speak like this for real. It was hilarious.
I love it.
Oh my God.
When I speak, I get everybody's attention.
You really do. You really do get everybody's attention.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And immediately we begin to ignore you again because like I cannot deal with this accent. I can't keep talking that way. I'm not gonna engage in conversation with you.
Talking that way, you're gonna get stuck.
Hey, listen, I do it and I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. And I can say that my Creole did get better. Or when did your Creole get better?
Well, when I went to undergrad, had some other Haitian friends and we would talk to each other. I think my Creole got better there, but it got exceptionally better when I started working at a doctor's office.
Same here.
We had a lot of Haitian patients. The doctor was Haitian, the nurse practitioner was Haitian, the majority of the patients were Haitians. What did I just?
Patients?
The majority of the patients were Haitian, and just having to just being in that space. One of the medical assistants were not Haitian, so like say if she was checking on a patient that only spoke Creole, I would go in there and translate for her, or even times when I had to work the front desk, like different scenarios where I had to be the person to interpret. And learning new medical words in Creole, like, and then basically every day speaking more Creole on a daily basis more than I ever had to in my life. So that really helped my Creole to improve.
And that helped me too, because I was in the same type of environment. And so although at that age, I knew of the numbers, but I wasn't strong.
Yeah, not practicing them every day.
I got definitely stronger in my numbers. Even my day of the week, I would have to say it in order to know what day. I knew like Monday, I knew Friday, I knew Saturday, Sunday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, mardi, mercredi, jeudi.
Yeah,
I didn't know it by itself. If somebody say jeudi, I would have to say, wait, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi. Oh, that means Thursday.
Yes.
But after working there, setting appointments and all of that,
exactly.
I had to know.
Thursday might be the least word that I say in Creole.
Thursday.
Jeudi, or even time. The time as well.
I know mercredi because I always knew that was being Wednesday, and I knew mardi, being that I knew lundi. But I'm like, jeudi? I'm like, oh, when you just said it, I'm like, dang, what did I supposed to say jeudi? I was trying to say all the other ones.
Yeah. So here's my question for you guys. Well, Marjorie answered my question. Mark, you have a child. How intentional are you, or are you intentional in teaching your child to speak Creole?
So my Creole got better when I was in college, when I went away, because I had more Haitian friends and everything, and so we would speak. However, since college, I haven't been surrounded or inundated with as much Haitians, and so I haven't been speaking Creole as much at all lately, and usually it's only like I only really speak it either when I'm with my cousin, and usually we speak it like we're trying to like say something around certain people, or like we're trying to speak to something real quick and we don't want nobody to know, but like something that we have to speak about that's pertinent, we'll speak some Creole. But outside of that, it's really when I'm speaking to my parents. So because of that, like my Creole, not second nature to me
Mm-hmm.
in the least bit. So when I speak Creole, it's something that like I put effort into. I have to put effort into, and so I'm not that I don't want to teach my kid, but I really like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's the circumstances.
And I think one of the things that my wife and I have tried, because my wife is not Haitian, like my wife is Jamaican, and so we've tried to, we have like more so like French. So we have like DVDs and stuff that will play for Eli like in French and whatnot.
And these days,
and we
there's even like kids YouTube
yeah
channels.
we have YouTube channels and such to try to teach our son, but to say that like that I'm like you're gonna learn some Creole to be like fluent, like
It's
I
just
don't.
difficult.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult, a lot more challenging
And
because we don't have because even if we because the thing about it is like I don't like we don't speak Creole in our home, and so he'll learn it on TV and everything, and like
it makes
yeah,
it hard. And so Marjorie gave an example, and I did, as far as when did our Creole become more stronger. It's more so when we were forced to speak it
We were
or to
yeah.
practice it on a daily basis.
We were
in
And
my
so in our
area,
home, our parents did not necessarily force us to speak English. I
yeah,
mean Creole, because they spoke English and we would speak English to each other, unless we were in a situation where if we were outside the home and we want to communicate and not have other people understand
yeah,
us, they would then maybe say something in Creole.
And granted, I also remember too, like our parents, they did speak a lot of English to us, but even if they did speak Creole to us, we would respond in English.
yeah.
Correct.
Like we
Correct.
didn't have the type of parents that was like, if I speak to you, because there are parents like that. Like if
If
I
I
speak
speak
to
to
you in
you in Creole,
Creole,
you have to
you
you have
need to
to
respond to
me
me in
back in
Creole.
Creole.
Like
And I
our
think
parents didn't do that.
and our parents was working on their English as well.
So this
Correct.
was a
So
great example, practice for them.
Mhm.
exactly. I remember growing up, I remember my mom and my dad and my mom would say, like, when I was a kid, or even when Candy was a kid, and we would be sitting at home watching Sesame Street, and they'll put us in front of the TV and watch Sesame Street. That's how they were learning some of their English as well, was from some of the programming that we were watching.
Yeah.
And so they would speak to us in Creole, so we would get it through osmosis of being around, immersed in it at home. But and so like my parents, they speak Creole to each other,
Yeah.
and they would speak Creole to us. But as we got older and as they got older, as they started understanding the language more and we just getting older, like the Creole in our home got less and less,
Or
I wouldn't say
even,
got
I wouldn't say
less.
less. I would say they would speak in Creole. We respond in English.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
speak to them in English. They may respond in English sometimes, or they
yeah.
may respond in Creole.
And we
But even
didn't, and
now
it
though,
wasn't
like
a scenario we understood well enough where it's like even if they were speaking to each other,
yeah,
we could understand. Like I know now some parents who are Haitian, both parents are Haitian, and they have kids who don't understand at all. So if they were trying to say
Mm.
something that they didn't want the kids to know, 'cause I have some friends who are like that. They were speaking Creole.
yeah,
They speaking in Creole. They know the kids do not understand, and they were able to get away with that. Where our parents, they couldn't necessarily do that with us.
exactly. But even like now, like in our home, like we're here, we're at our parents' house, and if we go like and right now, I would say like we're all sitting around hanging out with each other.
We're
90,
speaking English.
90% of it is going to be in English.
Yeah.
90% of the
But also
conversation is
because
in
we have people who are in the midst of us who do not speak or
yeah, I
understand
mean, even
Creole.
I
Right.
think even outside of that, I think even if it wasn't that, I still think before I was married, when we would get together, I think it was still 90% English.
True,
I could
true.
say 90, yeah, 90, but there would be some Creole.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
and
yeah.
sometimes things are just funnier in Creole.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
Sometimes things are
hilarious.
yes. It's
And I'll
like if
go
you say it in English, it's but when you say it in Creole, it is
and
way
so,
more
and
hilarious.
sometimes like this past week, like I'll go downstairs, I'll see mom in the kitchen, I'll speak to her in Creole. Like I'll say something like, oh, ça va faire konya, oh, wapa party, and I'll say something to her in Creole, and she'll respond, and we'll have a quick conversation, but the default is not necessarily Creole here in the
Yeah.
whole.
And it might be what we're saying. We might be saying, "Oh, we're speaking English." We may not be speaking English because I have had times where people who are around us, and I'm like, "Yeah, we just said that in English." They're like, "No, that wasn't. I don't know what that was. It wasn't
It
English."
wasn't. No,
So
I
it's
remember.
It's like Cringlish.
No, I remember in undergrad, one day at lunch, it was like me. I had two really good friends at that time who were Haitian. So it was the three of us, two other Haitian people. I don't remember if you were at the table too. And this one American guy. He happened to sit at the table with us. And we're just joking like Haitians do.
Yeah.
And we were actually speaking English, but with a Creole accent. So
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
mimicking
yeah.
or mocking how like our parents would probably speak English with their heavy accent.
Mhm.
And we're saying, we're just going saying all this stuff. And the American guy, he was just like, "So what does that mean? What was y'all saying?" And we were like, "Wait, you didn't understand us? We were
Yeah.
speaking English." And he was like, "Yeah, sure." 'Cause I didn't understand
Yeah, we'll
nothing
just
y'all
speak with
said.
that
Right.
Creole accent.
Yeah, yeah. And so
Mhm.
which could be Cringlish. And sometimes when you're in it and you're speaking it, you may not realize, baby, that's not English.
Yeah,
That's a Cringlish. That's a mixture of,
Yeah,
of the
two.
languages. So this was a good conversation, guys.
Yeah,
It was great, man.
this
It
was
was
Good.
really
great. It
good.
was
And if
great.
anything, just an inspiration to like, keep the language, hold the language, because you don't want the culture to die with the language.
Definitely don't want the culture to die down at all.
Definitely.
So, but yeah, good experience. Us talking about, our difficulties
Yeah,
Mhm.
with the
definitely.
language. I still
Definitely.
have some difficulties.
Yeah,
Yes, he
yeah. And
does.
tell us in the comments below, where are you? Are you struggling? Do you have kids that you wish
Yeah.
learn the language and you're trying to figure out how to do that? Tell us about your experience in the comments.
If you got some
below.
YouTube links, send them my way. If you got some
YouTube links.
if you
Get
got
that
some
Duolingo up,
if
baby.
you got something in the chat, put it in there. Let me know. I know there's a girl on Instagram, this Haitian girl. I think she's a teacher and she teaches Creole.
Oh yeah, there's some
Yeah,
Instagram or some influencers. They'll have like the word of the day
Yeah.
and stuff like
exactly, or the phrase or a parable
that. Mhm.
Yeah.
for the day, and they explain it and talk
And
about
vice
it.
versa. There's a guy. I know there's a guy that does English
Oh,
or Creole, like he's Haitian and he does.
Yo,
That is
that gotta be
music.
yeah.
good stuff. Good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, man.
All
With
right,
that
guys.
being said, we grow together.
And we always laugh together.
And we are one.
Oh, okay, let's try that again. Let's
I know what you're saying though.
Hold on.
Always.
Always. There we go. Always. There
Maybe
we go.
I messed you up. Maybe I messed you up
Maybe,
because I
I
said
don't-
we always laugh together.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead, Kim.
Ah!
Go ahead.
He said what Marjorie said always. Okay, we grow together.
We laugh together.
Always one get it.
All right.
Like and subscribe and comment, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.